This one's harder than you might think, right? I mean, for this one, you really have to mind your P's and Q's, right? Okay, sorry. All right, so I'm going to draw my my components over here, just for kicks. So here's a component here. There's a component there. So this is going to be P. This angle here, by the way, is also 62 degrees. It's an alternate interior angle. So this is going to be P sine 62. This guy is P cos 62. And then let's draw these guys. Now, when you draw it, right, I believe these x components have to be congruent, right? So just kind of eyeball that. It's good to draw it. Right, does that look the same length? Well, not really, but we're going to go with it. Right, these guys have to be congruent, right? And then here is our wangy. Right, so you can just graph it. You can actually draw this. If you draw it to scale with a protractor, you can actually graphically do this one. So this side is Q cos. And if that's 24 degrees, this is also 24 degrees. Cos 24. All right, and then this side's Q sine 24. Right, and then the force down is, by the way, going to be the sum of both of those guys. So let's draw something that looks as long as this one and this one combined. Does that look about right? I feel like that's pretty good, right? And that, by the way, is 17 times 9.81. So 17 times 9.81 is 166.77. There we go. I saw that number before. Right. And this guy's going to be negative and in the y direction. This guy's going to be positive in the x direction. This guy's negative in the x direction. This guy's positive in the y direction. This guy's positive and in the y direction. Okay. So let's set up our expressions here. I'll put it my raw equations here. X is, what do we got? Minus Q cos 24 plus P cos 62 is 0. Let's look at the y direction. That is plus Q sine 24. Right? So these are in our y direction. There's that guy, there's this guy, there'll be this guy, right? These are all our y's. Okay, so plus, you get y's to that. Okay, so plus P sine 62, and then we have minus 166.77, and then that equals 0. Okay, so these are our raw equations, right? Now I want to see, let's make these matrixable, which is, they're almost matrixable the way they are, right? Okay, so minus Q cos 24 plus P cos 62 equals 0 plus Q 24 plus P sine 62 equals, and then we just put this guy on the other side, 166.77. You want all the constants on the right side, all the things without the constants are there, right? And then let's carve out a little space here. So we're going to represent this with this matrix. Minus cos 24, comma, cos 62, plus sine 24. This guy's positive too, right? And then plus sine 62. This is my matrix A. And then we've got, what do we got? This is Q and P, right? So Q. By the way, at the end of the day, if you get lost and you don't know which one's P and which one's Q, which of course you will need to do, the one that's more vertical in this situation will have more force in it. Okay, kind of makes sense, right? Okay, and then that equals 0 and 166.77. And I'll call this the matrix B, right? Okay, and then of course the matrix QP is equal to the matrix A inverted multiplied by the matrix B is equal to, let's do this. Okay, so what I'm doing on my calculator, I'll just talk you through this. I've got the fancy new calculator. I'm going to go alpha F3. It gives me a menu to create a matrix. And I'm going to go over to two rows, enter, go down, 2 columns, enter. And I click on OK, boom. And it shows a matrix. And then I'm typing them in. So minus cos 24, right arrow, cos 62. Hit the right arrow, it just takes you through them, right? Sine 24, right arrow, sine 62. Okay, so now I'm done with this matrix. I'm going to go to the right, so I hit the right arrow. And then I hit the x to the minus 1 button. It's on the left side. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 down, right? I'll post videos on how to do this with using the fancy new matrix thing, but I'll also show you how to do it using the old-fashioned one, which is, well, and once you learn how to do that, it's just as fast. But I like this better because I can see what I'm doing right there. All right, and now I'm going to go, so now I've got that matrix inverted, and then I'm going to go alpha F3 again. And this time I want 2 rows, but only 1 column, because I'm going to type in this B matrix, right? I just pointed at the screen. You didn't see me do that either. All right, and then 0 is great for the top element, and 166. 77, and I'm going to hit enter and hope that I see the numbers at the bottom. Oh yeah, there we go. All right. Okay, so yeah. So Q and P. Yeah, there we go. So here are the numbers I'm getting. So I get 78.48 and 152.72. All right, now what that means is that this guy's Q, which of course it would be less, right? That's the one that's smaller. That's the one that's P, okay? Now just for kicks, if you want to get these numbers out, this is kind of fun. You can take that thing and hit stow. And stow is like the second button up from the left side. Stow. And it'll go answer stow, right? And then I'm going to go matrix, a second matrix, and then I'm just going to burp out matrix A. There we go. So stow, and then second matrix, and then enter. Right, and I've now stored it in matrix A. It'll look like this. It'll go answer. Right. Now type this, go second matrix. You can, by the way, just stop now. I'm just meandering. Second matrix, burp out that A, and then type a left parenthesis, 1, 1. Left parenthesis. This is for all the programmers out there, because these things are just like arrays and programming language. Do that, and it'll burp out. That'll be that will give you the 78.48, and then you can like put that number in a variable, and then I can't remember which order. I think it's row column. So let's go 2, 1. See if that. Yeah, there we go. And then if you do A 2, 1, right? So this will burp out 78.48, blah 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 blah. Right? This guy will burp out 152.724. So you can actually address the elements of a matrix. They're just like arrays in a programming language. Okay. Just thought I'd show you that. That's kind of fun. All right, there we go. I'm done. I'm going to stop talking. Okay, this grasshopper walks into a bar, and the